Hi guys, so I just want to talk about some of the current events that has been happening. Um, I don't think it's no longer a news that the Venezuela president Nicolas Maduro was arrested. I don't know if you want to call it something else, but and brought to the United States and is here with us in New York. At this point, I understand there is a diverse opinion about this subject. Some feel the United States does not have the rights to do that. So blah blah blah. We also see that the people in Venezuela are jubilating. They are celebrating. And all I can say is peace and prosperity to the people of Venezuela, because at the end of the day, that's really what the people are asking for. When you have these dictators, these people wanting to be in power forever, and there is really nothing the poor masses can do about it. It's become obvious that an external power have to come in to assist with the situation. Now, people we say that the United States is doing this because of the oil. Of course, the cost of doing what the United States does is not cheap either. So they're going to do things with their interests, the United States' interest in mind, of course. But think about it. Who gave room for that? Still, these dictators, You have all this oil and all that stuff, and all you needed to do was to work with the United States to get things done. And you think with all the investment that the United States have in place in Venezuela, you're just gonna sideline Venezuela and start doing this little grandstanding you've been doing all these years, and it's gonna last forever? No. Unfortunately, some of these dictators don't understand that Trump is not your regular American president. When the man speak, he want to take action. When he speak about these issues, he want to take action. So there is nothing out of place with you working with people that are more powerful than you, and still arrive at your goal. Oh, people want to shout sovereignty and what sovereignty are you talking about if your people are starving and the wealth is only for the few people who took power by force? There is no sovereignty in that. It's like your neighbor house is on fire, and you're simply saying, "This is my neighbor house. I can't." You want to do all you can to get in there. Now, whatever your motive is different, whatever the motive might be, but ultimately, there was fire, or there was something that required you jumping in. Sovereignty, when people bring up the issue of sovereignty, it baffles me. What is sovereignty if you cannot provide and support the people that you're supposed to be sovereign over? And I hear people talking about the International Court of Justice. The International Court of Justice is more like a religion, like the Bible. People use it when it favors them. Wasn't the International Court of Justice the same Court of Justice that has ordered for Putin's arrest? Is Putin not free? Okay. Wasn't the International Court of Justice the same Court of Justice that has declared Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria to be a free man, but yeah, the man is still in custody? So yeah, you can scream and shout about International Court of Justice. Oh, that doesn't matter. Talk is cheap. The beauty of life is that everybody have mouths, so we can open it and express whatever we want. But action is different. The way I look at life in general, and this is my personal opinion, it's not it's not cowarding. However, sometimes you pick your battle. You don't go fight or try to do the little grandstanding thing with people, someone that's more powerful than you, obviously powerful than you. Think about what Maduro was doing the past few days. Oh, America is coward. America is a colonial master. Blah blah. Blah. All that doesn't matter. You have every opportunity to dialogue, to negotiate, to bargain, and still have success attained. But no, it's Trump, so I'm gonna do a little grandstanding. What happened to that? Now tell me. Okay, so in life generally, I look at life just like as it is in the jungle. You think the deer go mess around where the lion is? You think the tiger, the rabbit go mess around where the tiger is? You know, this is just the nature of life. The powerful are the powerful. You work with them. You think Saudi Arabia is foolish? You think South Korea is foolish? You think Japan is foolish? You think Germany is foolish? Working or finding a way to work with the United States. You might not align properly with their idea or with the idea of the United States. However, which option is the best for you? Grandstanding, ranting, or finding a way to work together to keep your peace and still keep your nation. So all I can say at this point is peace and prosperity to the people of Venezuela. These people have suffered. They've endured hardship out of the hands of these evil leaders. You know, hopefully there will be a way for the United States to, you know, make a way for a government that we align, you know, and at the end of the day, the average man and woman just want to live in peace. They just want to be able to live in peace and take care of their children and family. But in the meantime, let's see what's going to happen to Maduro. And this serves as a lesson to a lot of these people who just rant around, you know, people in Nigeria talking about let America come. You know, you got to be very careful. You know, this is not some game being played. You do not want to cause problem with someone bigger and more powerful than you. And the beauty of what I see, and again, this is my opinion, the United States have no problem with the average Nigerian. We're simply saying, clean up your house. Stop the killing. Put your house together. You know, and that, oh no, sovereign nation. What's sovereign if you can no longer support your own people? What's sovereign if narco-terrorists or terrorists are now in charge of your country? Doesn't make sense. You might not like Trump, hate him or like him. It's obvious. When your neighbor's house is on fire, you have justification to want to go in there to help. And that's really what I see in all of this. So ultimately, if you don't want none of this, put your ass together. Okay? Because at the end of the day, all that matters is that you want to create an environment for your people to thrive, for the protection of life and property, for the sustenance of life in your nation. But until then, You open the door for others to jump in. And in this case, the United States was willing to jump in. Now you might call it oil and no oil, whatever that is. Fine. There are other nations that have oil. The Saudi Arabians, the Kuwaits. They find a way to work with the United States. Others might say, oh, China is better. You don't know. You don't know. Sometimes the devil, is better than the angel. You don't know. But again, this is my opinion. And I wish the people of Venezuela peace and prosperity and justice for Venezuelans. Peace.